What's up, y'all? Eric Clark here. Today, I reached my very first milestone because I have some kids. They're in elementary school. I got a text from a friend asking if I could talk to their kiddo about a math question. And this is a more advanced math question for this grade level, but I thought it'd be really cool to put some pen to digital paper just to explain sort of the topics of question. So if this works out, I'm actually going to include a link below because I would love to create random videos helping folks with their math questions. This one's in particular is elementary, but it's interesting because they're talking about some themes that I talk about with some of my high school students. Anyway, so the question was this: how do we know that 2 to the 0 is equal to 1? Now, I couldn't really unpack this on the phone because I wanted to make a connection between the quotient rule, and the quotient rule is not something that the kiddo had seen before. So essentially the quotient rule is this: when you divide numbers with the same base, you subtract their exponents. So here I have x cubed over x squared. That's x to the 3 minus 2, or x to the first power. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the quotient rule to show how 2 to the 0 power is equal to 1. And this could work for any value. But first I want to talk about 2 divided by 2. I think we all know that 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. 5 divided by 5 is equal to 1. Now, one thing that is not like super present is the fact that there's an invisible power of 1 for each of these values. So it's 2 to the first power divided by 2 to the first power, 5 to the first power divided by 5 to the first power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use the quotient rule to rewrite this quotient so it's 2 to the 0 power. So essentially, the rule states that when you divide numbers with the same base, you subtract their exponents. So this is going to be 2 to the 1 minus 1. And all we're doing is substituting this new value in for that fraction. And we know that 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So an equivalent statement would be 2 to the 0 is equal to 1. Similarly here with 5 divided by 5, that's 5 to the 1 minus 1 is equal to 1. That's 5 to the 0 power is equal to 1. So essentially what you can take from this is any number raised to the 0 power is going to be equal to 1. And this is one way that you can show how to do it using a couple of examples. Hopefully this was helpful. I think I made it a little bit more complicated in my head, the explanation. But if you have some math questions that you want to delve into and you're not quite sure where to start, click the link in the description and it'll direct you to my website. And from there you can submit a question. You can just write it in written text, or you can also include it. You can include a picture. So if you want to take a screenshot or take a picture with your phone, whatever. But thank you, Dee. I appreciate the inspiration, and I know this isn't a crazy explanation. Hopefully it was helpful. If you have any follow-up questions, you know how to get in touch with me.